How are you?
I'm okay. How you doing?
I'm okay, thanks.
Is it a big day for you?
Big day for me, yes. Did you see?
I did see your article in Boca Mag is finally out.
Finally, we did that, what, 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
It's
And
great though. The picture looks fantastic. The article is fantastic.
thank you. They sent the journalist I met at a coffee shop that was like so like journalistic. Like we met at a coffee shop for the interview, like
Professional.
the
Yeah,
way
yeah.
you in New York City or something, or LA. And then they sent a photographer out to do a photo shoot, and I did it at the studio where we rehearsed because they wanted like a console behind me of the mixing board.
Yeah, cool.
So I didn't know for all this time what the picture was going to look like because he took a bunch of pictures and I didn't get to see one. So I didn't know anything.
They did a
about
great job. Great job picking.
So the crazy thing is, Denise, is the timing just happened to be. So the magazine comes out this week. We have a sold out show on Saturday, which I've never had before.
That's great.
And I'm like, this week, I'm like the rock star. And the next week, I'm just going back to being a regular person again.
But you get to meet Sandra Valls tonight.
Yes, and that too. I mean, wow.
It's a big week. It's a big week.
It's a big week. And I get to spend some time with you.
Exactly. See, I'm drinking, I showed this off to Tyler. I think you might have missed it, but the Jägermeister a cold brew.
Yes. That is cool.
Yeah, it's like black coffee with a hint of Jaeger to it. So
wow. I did a little mixology myself.
No.
I have the coffee espresso flavored vodka with Coke.
Okay, that I can handle. That I can handle. Because I actually thought about putting a dash of Coke in here too. But I didn't.
Yeah.
But I will.
And the bullet glass. Like
yes, because you are a rock star this week. Embrace
riding the wave.
Yeah, perfect. All right, well, let's continue with your wave and let Sandra Valls in.
Yes.
This is exciting. And there she is.
Hi,
ladies. Oh my God.
How nice to meet you.
Good.
to meet you too. Denise, how long has it been?
I can't even put a number on it, but I'm gonna go with 12.
Too
12
long.
years?
Too long.
Yeah, way too long.
Wow.
Way too long. I think my most vivid memory is the cruise through the hurricane.
Oh my God.
We cruised through a hurricane. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good times. Good times.
I still run into people when I do shows that they're like, the hurricane, like we're bonded. Horrible thing.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, oh yeah, we threw up together. Yeah.
We threw up together. We had nausea together. It was awesome.
Where was that? When was that cruise? I always wanted to go on one of those.
2008, I think, or 2009, maybe.
I have no clue. You
Yeah,
can still come on Olivia. Olivia's not doing cruises, right? I mean, I guess they are. I don't know. Because of the pandemic.
Not yet.
But
Yeah.
I'm actually in a resort at Tulum. Are you ever going to come to an Olivia? Or like
I would
hang out?
love to.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Love to.
I mean, talk to Tisha and maybe you could talk about maybe doing a podcast or a business thing from there.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
JD could play.
I'd love to say that.
I mean, it would be like a performing, also doing a podcast from there. I know they're very open to expanding their audience, and they're very open to like collaborating with other people, like especially podcasts and stuff. Yeah. I would reach out to Tisha and Terry Landelk.
Excellent.
You're still overseas, right?
I am still in London right now. Yeah, there's no getting out right now. It's
How is it over there?
It's a hard clamp. You know, we're doing phased reopening. So
well, I'm in Texas since the pandemic. I didn't plan on being here.
How did you get there?
I was doing a show. I got cast in a show called Roe, as in Roe v. Wade, and going to be paying me great. It's going to be great. I was going to be here for a couple of months. I'm from Texas. My sister lives here.
Yeah.
And 3 days into the production, it was the pandemic.
Oh my
And
God.
I've been
Wow.
here ever since March of
Oh
last.
man.
Oh, but you kind of turned that frown upside down for a lot of people because you started doing the karaoke nights.
The Playroom karaoke. Yes, we because I'm literally in the Playroom. Like, look,
That's
like this is
awesome.
my green
Oh my
screen.
God.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's a snake.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, she's a science teacher.
all
So
right, that makes sense.
we're here in the Playroom, and we were like, you know what? Let's play all these old records. Let's just play these records you have. So it started out like record playing. Like, you all tell us what number, we picked the album, and then what number, and then we played the song from all these old stupid records. Um, and then we were like, let's whip out the karaoke machine, and so we did. And then it was like, wait, we can get karaoke on YouTube. So my brother-in-law
Right,
was all
right.
like, let's hook it all up. So our screen is in front of us, our TV, where we read the lyrics, and then we have this camera, and then we have these lights, and I mean, we just decided, let's just do it.
It's
And
That's
we
how
did.
that's
been
how great
so,
ideas are born.
yeah, it was absolutely,
It
it's so
was, and we
successful.
wear these hats.
What do we have here? Oh, yeah,
We wear
yep,
these hats.
yep.
I found them at a thrift store, not this.
This is
I love thrifting. So I found it at a thrift store, and I'm like, let's just wear dumb hats and sing songs. And it became a thing with this is how we do it.
it is so fun and so funny. And it, the best part about it is that you got people so engaged, and that's what we needed at that time. It was so just
People,
landed so perfectly.
and we decided, we're like, you know what? We have so much stuff that we've collected that we were like, oh, let's do like, if you contribute a couple of dollars, we'll put your name in a hat, and then whoever wins it wins it. And so it was. I didn't really want to ask for tips. I just didn't
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
But I was like, let's get rid of all this stuff that we have.
It was like an
And
online
people
garage
love getting packages in the mail. They
sale.
just loved it. And we also like had a toy of the week and the game of the week. And
Oh
I'm
wow.
looking at a Charlie's Angels country camper right now, my country camp. I'm looking at all these toys that we were like toy of the week, and we would show the toys of the week, and people would look forward to it, and you know,
It
it was
was
so much fun.
fantastic. You and your sister, like I didn't know even that you had a sister, and like here you are entertaining the masses, and I feel like I'm sure she was a part of it, but I feel like you may have roped her in a little bit.
A little bit.
She doesn't
She's
strike
like,
me
you
as
don't
just like,
know. She's like, I'm not a singer, because I was
yeah.
like, stay in your lane. Let's practice the songs, and
Uh,
then she,
I do that.
I sing it.
I
Well,
did that with my sister growing up, Sandra. I did that. And the last thing she wanted, and we talk about it now, because the last thing she wanted to do was sing and dance in front of people. And as a little kid, she's 2 years younger than I am. I
Mine
would
too.
force her to do this. So we used to do this routine, lickety and splits. It was like a commercial back in the day for a cookie or something. It was like an Oreo cookie. And we had the hats, the top hats and the cane. And the other day, just so we talk about that once in a while. And the other day I was at her house, and she was cleaning the dishes, and she goes, yeah, well, splits quits. I'm doing dishes now. I'm not going to be singing and dancing with you because I have a show on Saturday. And she goes, don't expect splits to be in the show.
But my sister really liked it. My sister really, really liked it after a while, but she would say things like, this is supposed to be fun. And I'm like, I'm having fun rehearsing. She's like, well, I'm not. I'm not, because I'm like, let's rehearse. She's like, no, it's supposed to be like off the cuff and fun. Yeah, I said, but our harmonies are supposed to be important here too.
But
She's
you do sing, like you.
Yeah.
That was one of the memorable things on the Hurricane cruise, was that you belted out some music, and I don't know if it was just me, but I feel like I wasn't ready for that. Like I did not know that was coming. I was blown away by it. Your voice is incredible.
Thank you.
So I was just like, how multi-talented can you be? Like seriously.
Well, I was a singer first. Like I was in bands in high school. I was like a sophomore, and I had my first band called Bad Habit because I went to Catholic school. Um, and
Oh, I love that.
That's
I
yeah,
get
Bad
it.
Habit. It
I
was the
get
three
it.
of us. It was in 1980 something when MTV first came out, and I sang all the Stevie songs. I was in charge. Quarter Flash. We had three
oh
front singers, three girls and three boys, and my friend sang Pat Benatar. We sang Heart. We sang a Scandal. You know
you
all those
had me with
those
quarter
all
flash, man. Harden my
Quarter
heart.
Heart in My Heart. Find Another Fool.
Oh
We sang Pretenders. I mean, it was like living the dream when you're a teenager and you're singing all these cover songs. I sang for my own prom, and we just when other
Oh,
people were
wow.
doing their own thing, we were like rehearsing in my carport, and so that was that. And then I kept moving to doing other bands. I had a 8-piece horn band in Boston.
oh my
I
god.
majored in musical
Wow.
theater. Yeah, it was really cool. And then comedy kind of landed on my lap in the 90s, late 90s, and then it was just easier. Like I enjoy it too. You can't it's not too you can't it's apples and oranges. You can't
Yeah.
pick a favorite. But so I combine them. I'm like, why am I not combining like Ben
Yes.
Stiller combined
Right, right,
her
right.
stuff?
Yeah,
And
it's like a wow factor in the middle of all that laughing. It's fantastic. It's
You
like
I
don't
love it.
expect.
I love it.
right. Yeah. But
I
now
love it.
it's you're I every time I scroll through Facebook, I see like all new cool things. What were you just doing with Sharon Glass? You had her for the
Oh, so my she was hosting the Latina Christmas special. This is a comedy, a play that me and two other of my very good friends we wrote. Um, and so we couldn't do it last year in 2019, 2 years ago.
yeah.
We debuted off Broadway. And so in 2020 we were all set to go, and of course the pandemic. So Sharon, we invited her to be like the moderator host to kind of a live kind of Q&A thing with us.
It was
And
cool,
so
yeah.
that was a Latina Christmas special.
Special
Aw.
special, yeah.
Yeah. And so, I asked all these fans had all these burning questions that we would always get emailed. And so we were like, why don't we just do a show and answer them on Christmas? Kind of keep also connected to our fans and friends. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
And
good
yeah,
way.
And Sharon's a big fan. She came to my show, to our show in New York. And prior to that, she really loved it. I was like, wow, cool. Sharon
Yeah,
Glass.
she's the blast.
Wow, that's
She
so
is an
cool.
absolute blast. I had the pleasure of working for her for a while. When I first moved here in London, she was doing a show that started out in a little theater, and they were trying to get to the West End. And her,
Sweetheart.
yeah, her personal assistant had an emergency and had to go back to the States.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Debbie Mosk. I'm sure you know Deb Mosk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she asked me if I would help out while she was
Mm-hmm.
gone, and I did, and I just had the time of my. I mean, it was work, but it was the time of my life, you
And
know.
she's amazing. She's such a great human being too.
Yeah, she's got such a great sense of humor, and she's got the best stories. And
Stories, I know.
yeah,
She's coming out with a book.
yes, December.
Yes. I think we
You
can
can,
pre-order it too. You should have
yeah.
her on your show.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to get with Deb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to get with Deb and see if we can set that up. And then she's also got another really good friend over here. His name is Daniel Thurman, and he writes for BBC. You know, they still do radio theater over here, believe it or not. So you flip on
Really?
BBC Radio 4
Wow.
or something like that, and they have this long running soap opera called The Archers. And Daniel writes for that, and I think he started off friends with Deb, and then she just adored him. And so he met his husband in San Francisco, and now his husband lives over here with him. But like Sharon is so tight with them. So, when I can't wait for her to come back here. But when she's here, like I'll drop her an email or be like, we need to get together. Like, it's just, we have
Oh
to.
yeah, no, she's
Yeah.
she's
That's what I'm
fabulous.
going to make my trip to England for sure.
You keep
Where are you,
thinking that.
JD? Where are you?
I'm
now?
in South Florida.
So
Like
all
just
over the planet.
we are the most socially distanced podcast.
Yeah, it's doesn't get further than this. I don't know. You might
know what?
set a record.
What blows my mind, Denise, is that you haven't changed her accent like Madonna did.
No, I don't. The funny thing is I've been here 10 years now, and I still have this horrible, horrible habit of saying the last word of a British person's sentence.
How?
Like,
You mean
Really?
the last word?
I honestly, like if you're talking to somebody and they like, oh, what's your handle? I'm going to follow you on Twitter. And I go, Twitter. Like, it just comes out, and I'm like, oh God, geez.
Why do you do that?
It's ridiculous. It just happens. I can't even control it. Or we'll be watching like a TV show and I'll just burst out with the last word somebody just said. My wife will go,
You're all anal probe. What?
yeah, I just try. It's usually because there's so many different dialects, and you're trying to understand all of them. So, not that, over here, it's pretty standard in my little area, but when you're watching TV, it could be somebody from Manchester, it could be somebody from Birmingham, it could be, and they're all different.
I went to London in 2000, I want to say 2006. Anyway, and I just thought I'd be proactive and email someone. I'm going to be there. Can I do 5 minutes in your little comedy club? I don't know if you know this guy named Simon Happily.
No.
He did some underground comedy thing, whatever. So I found him. I think it was MySpace even. And I was like, can I just do a few minutes? I'm really funny. Right. And so like an idiot, I didn't realize about jet lag. I'm like, I didn't realize that I'm going to land and be completely like jet lagged. So I land, I take a quick nap. I'm just and then look, I smoke cigarettes here and there, but it was insane. I wasn't prepared for the smoke. I wasn't. I mean, I'm not one of those like, oh, cigarettes. I'm fine. Smoke, it's fine.
No.
But I wasn't prepared on top of jet lag. So
Right.
I find the club and we go underground, like a kind of a basement, and it's got no windows, and the smoke is kind of getting to me, and I'm a little bit tired, but I'm not understanding the comics, even though it's English, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm like, especially the Scottish comics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's laughing, and then I would get it like a second later. Okay, cut to, I'm next. Okay. So the opposite happens where no one's understanding my freaking accent, which completely about even my Mexican accent. If I'm like tired or drunk or horny, it just comes out like it. Especially when I was so tired, and so I would make a joke, and I mean the audience, I would see them like.
Nightmare. Yeah.
That's what I would see. Like they're trying to hear me, and I mean I speak fast to begin with, but so I'm slowing it down, and I'm like, whatever, and they're like, and it kind of chuckles. I'm like, okay. Not only am I like getting sick of the smoke, I'm jet lagged. Now I'm like, no, I'm bombing. Like, oh my God, are you understanding?
Welcome to London. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I don't understand the Scottish comic. Yeah,
that's brutal. We have a Scottish singer coming on next week, I think. And I've spent time with her. I've hosted a lot of music festivals and stuff, so I know her. I've spent time with her, but I have a super hard time understanding her. I'm so worried about JD. Like both of us are just going to be like.
Well, I understand Sarah Milliken, which I started listening to.
She's all Newcastle. Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm proud.
Is it worse than that?
Yes, way worse. Way worse. Yeah.
Way worse.
When we went to Spain, and of course I speak fluent Spanish, it's my first language, and we didn't understand them. I mean, they're speaking so fast.
Yeah.
That I was like, okay, this whole trip was amazing, but what?
Yeah.
I didn't even dare do comedy in Spain. No, I mean Spanish comedy.
Some things just get lost in translation. It's really, It's interesting though. There's a lot of American comics that have made it over here. Like Rob Delaney is doing fantastic over here, and
Yeah.
you know, he's had television shows, and he's working with Sharon Horgan. He's doing, I don't even remember the name of his, Catastrophe is so good, and they did like 3 seasons of it. And but then I went to see him as do a stand-up comedy, and
I'm
I
sorry.
was jet lagged, and I hated it. Like I just thought his comedy's not really translating over here. Like I'm American, I get it.
But they liked him.
They
liked
liked them, yeah,
liked
they
him.
liked
I
them.
mean, I had at that point, and even now I still do. I had a lot of like, sorry, it's a hot flash. I'm at that age.
I hear you.
Um, I had a comment. I mean, it was like, you know, being Mexican and, you know, not looking Mexican because I'm so pale, right? So, but they were like, what? Okay, I'm sorry. My brother-in-law decides to play with the dogs when I have a podcast.
That's all right. My cat's on top of the cabinet,
He just
cleaning
decides
herself like right in front of me. So
now is the time to fuck with the dogs.
I when I we've gone to see Fortune Feimster here in London.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and you know, had a great time. Like she was fantastic. And Jeff Garland. So
Oh yeah, yeah, I know him.
yeah, they do, you know, they do well, but I feel like I'm guessing they tweak their material just a
Yeah.
wee bit.
I mean, I think you would have to. There are things that even like my LGBTQIA plus comedy, like to a younger
Yeah,
generation,
yeah,
uh, like the whole Butch Femme funny thing with in our age group is still
Yeah.
like Butch Femme, and I'm like, I'm not really that Butch. You know, I'm not.
yeah. There's no.
I am, but I'm not. Like my girlfriend pitched the tent, and I'm like, let me look like I'm helping you for God's sake. I
Save
look
my-
like I'm helping. She's like, you're ruining everything. I'm like, let me look like I'm helping. Hi guys, what's up, dudes? When I perform to a younger generation, they're like, well, what do you mean? You can be and do whatever you want, which is amazing. Like why do you have to be in this butch role? And I'm like, you're right. I've always said that, but the comedy is because we were so people in our age group sometimes are
Yeah,
so
we get it, and
and
they
we were
question everything.
we were
Yeah,
very much like, you know,
yeah.
and the younger kids are like, and if you wear makeup and a dress and you're butch, who cares? And I'm like, that's what I've always said.
I know.
That's what I've always said. However, in the comedy, I'm like, okay, no one's laughing because to them it's a normal thing, and again, it should
Yeah.
be. But
Right.
the
Right.
funny part
Right.
is that our generation does not look at it like it's a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think we're
Yeah.
a product
I
of our
understand.
time. Yeah,
I
definitely.
understand how you would tweak the material a little bit. Yeah, there are certain
Yeah,
things that are just, you know,
yeah,
funny in that
it's
community.
true. I mean, we saw Cameron. What's her last name? Cameron.
Esposito.
Yes, over
I like
here, and I would say it was kind of like a semi-bomb, you know. And
Mm,
again, there was so much religion tied into her act, and
mm.
it's just not a big deal over here. And I
Yeah.
think that's what it was. People were struggling with that a little bit. So that it's hard. It's hard to sit in you know, it's hard when you see
Well,
it happen.
again,
It's like, oh, I
with the
can't.
whole, I don't look Mexican here, and because I don't like in, you know, a couple years ago I had an audition where I had to be a butch Latina, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get it. My hair and look at my skin. When they want a butch
Um,
Latina, they want like a stereotype butch Latina, which means brown skin, maybe short hair, butch Latina.
yeah.
You know, if I was to say that, let's say in London, right? I would assume that people, I assume that people in London and not America know that Mexican is all shades and colors. Is that the truth? Or is there,
I don't know that they would get that because that's not what they see on American television. They see like like a standard look, and then that's what they think. Like I remember when I was getting
I see.
my card to be, I forget what it's called, like a temporary resident, you know. And it was all this legal stuff, but I was sitting in a room with all these different people from all over, and there was a guy there that was he was from like one of the like Latvia or Slovenka or something like that. And we were chatting a little bit with his broken English, and he asked me where I was from in America, and I said Florida, and he said, "Oh, Miami," and he went on and on and on about CSI Miami. Everything's so glossy, like glossy, and
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, honey, no, it's
Not
not.
like that.
No. So they really do get their culture from American television shows, So if
That's
they
funny.
see something, they just believe it that that's the way it is, the way they saw it on television.
Also, if I said I'm Mexican, they're like, "Oh, Narcos" or something.
More like that. Yeah, weeds, because we're a little behind the times. So
So
yeah,
did you get the part? Did you get the
No,
part?
of course not.
But look at you, just like going out there on auditions, like you and Dana Goldberg. Every time I turn around, there's new horizons. It's fantastic.
I just did an Olivia at Home with Dana Goldberg. Olivia has these shows Behind the Curtain or Olivia at Home.
Oh,
They've kept the whole they've kept us working, which is
Yeah.
great. Um, and Dana, of course, she's hosting the show called Behind the Curtain, which was like a podcast, like a Zoom thing, and we talked about what I was doing in the pandemic. We're actually going to be entertaining together in Tulum this year. We're going back to Tulum. I cannot wait to
Oh,
have A,
fantastic.
with a bunch of my friends, B, perform again, C,
where is
Tulum,
Tulum? Where is Tulum?
Mexico, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
That's great. Yeah, we had a blast with her in Key West a couple of times hosting that.
Girl, Key
Women's
West, I had such a great time at Key West when I
Yeah.
performed there too. I haven't performed there in a while, but Key West Pride it was a Key West Women's Week or
Women's
something like
Week.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing fun.
So good.
That was such a great time.
Yeah, I have great
They're
memories of that.
they're doing Women's Week this year, Women's Fest and Key West Pride, as far as I know.
Yeah, I did read
I
something.
wanna
about
do
that.
it.
December. And
I
submitted to do it, but I'm waiting to hear back. It's like,
That would be fantastic.
I don't have a name, a really good contact name. The person I called said, Fritzy, Fritzy, somebody?
No.
But because like they book like, even like now the Wilton Manors, Stonewall, they used to be like you went through Pride to play on the stage.
Yeah.
Now you have to go through the bars, and each bar on Wilton Drive books their own entertainment, and they each have a stage in front of the bar. So it's a lot harder to submit, because you have to like figure out which bars are having stages. It doesn't say it on the website. So
Oh, wow.
I have to take a trip down there and see what's happening.
Just knock on some doors like the old school way.
I have to do the old school, the old school way with my guitar. And
Yeah.
but I want to do Women's Fest so badly. I think I'd said in one of our podcasts, I never submitted in time for that. So this time I'm in time,
so
but I
fun that,
don't have a great
Jen-
contact.
Jen Corday usually plays for Women Fest, and I just noticed that Suzanne Westenhofer is in her video.
Corday, I
Ah.
just had a show. I didn't have a show with her, but I was part of Jenny McNulty. You know, Jenny McNulty
Yes.
has her pandemic password, and which is great. She has all these interview shows, and also Andrea Meyerson. I think it was Andrea Meyerson that had something. Anyway, Corday was there. But my last memory of Corday in person was in Key West, and this was probably 2015, where I got all brave and I wanted to snorkel. I am not an outdoor dyke at all. I had already snorkeled in the Bahamas, and I'm like, I'm in Key West during Women's Week, I believe, and I'm gonna go snorkel for Fury. It's called Fury. Why is it called Fury?
Yes. Yeah.
So I go and Corday is there, and we got like buddied together to go snorkeling, and I almost drowned. Like she went off with her girlfriend, and the tide was so crazy. I don't know about freaking tides and stuff.
Yeah.
That I'm like snorkeling, and I would look up, and like the ship was way over there. I was like, okay, and the coral reef that we were supposed to look at kept moving, and so and then I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna go back to the ship. So I would go to the ship, and I would again. Then it would end up over there. I'm like, where the hell am I going? And then I mean, then I couldn't breathe, and then I finally got out, and then everyone got stung by jellyfish. Everyone
Oh,
except
God.
me, because I got out early. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Oh
that wouldn't be
man.
for me. That
Yeah.
wouldn't be my part of the experience.
Nah, I
I
think
West
tried
like,
to,
either.
I
try
didn't
to
do
be outdoors.
anything outdoor like in Key
Me
West, like
either.
because you have to like we were hosting at pool parties, so you were outside all day and like a big sweaty mess by the time it was over with. And so we would go back to the room, crank the air conditioners on high, and sit around
And
in our bra and underwear.
It
and
was
not
so
leave.
hot.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, and Key West to me is haunted. Like it's haunted. I feel it's haunted.
Really?
Oh
Really?
yes, I feel
Like in a New
spirits.
Orleans kind of way.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I feel you. Yeah.
yeah,
I
like
Okay.
it's
bet they have
very.
ghost tours. They probably do
Yeah,
have
but I
ghost
don't
We
tours.
do. Yeah.
screw the ghosts. I don't fuck around with ghosts.
Mm.
I no. I there's something that you respect.
Yeah. Respect
Wow.
the dead.
I don't
Exactly.
fuck around with No, no, no. I pick shit up. I was there like, this is really haunted. There's a lot going on here.
Wow.
There's a lot. I was kind of sad. I felt really sad. Like I felt in Prague. Speaking of when I go to Olivia, I went to Prague sad. There is a heavy energy in Key West.
Did you ever
Wow.
go to Savannah? Because that's supposed to be the most haunted city in the
Yeah, no,
United States.
I've
I'll
heard
make
that.
sure to I'll make sure to miss it.
Yeah, that's
So-
and I went there because of it, because we did the ghost tours and
yeah,
for
I have a
years,
couple
every
friends
year
that
I
do
went.
that.
It's
Let me put it to you
beautiful.
like this. So you die, you don't know your dad, you're hanging around between worlds, and here come a bunch of tourists egging you on.
Right.
And you're
Fun
like,
with
what
that,
are these
though?
people doing? Like, no.
Yeah, I would be
No,
that one ghost that's going, stay with your group. Stay with your group.
No, no, no. It's in my contract when I travel to
Yeah.
places. Uh, Getting paid on time, blah, 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 blah. Accommodations, clean, blah, blah, blah. Not haunted. In big letters.
wow.
And then I say,
Wow.
this is not a joke. Not haunted. I can't do
Is
it.
that is that a Mexican thing? Is that a suspicion from
Why
being
you want to
Mexican?
tell me if it's a Mexican thing?
Because don't you have like the Day of the Dead and the people wear the masks and
Well, but the
my
Day of the Dead is not a haunted. The Day of the Dead is a
No, that's
reverence.
for family,
Dia de
isn't
los
it?
Muertos there's two, November 2nd and 3rd, and one day is for people that have crossed over, and the other day is for children, and then pets,
oh
pets
wow.
and adults.
Yeah.
My
We hold people who cross over in reverence. So we
oh
remember them. The Day of the Dead is not scary. The Day of the Dead is because death is so much happier than life. So that's why you see the calaveras and everything
Yeah,
dancing,
yeah.
having
I
fun.
like that
It is
concept.
it
Jay,
is a,
watch Coco. Come on, man, get with it.
yeah. So it
Yeah.
is like you don't, the real death happens when you forget your ancestors and you don't,
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. That makes
so
sense.
we call them forth. We remember them. We leave their favorite foods out. There's all these elements of like earth, wind, fire. So when you see that paper is supposedly it's wind, it's
Oh, that's
wind.
nice though. It's like you get to spend a day with them.
Wow.
Yeah, they
My
come.
niece's husband is Mexican, and I never asked him about that. I never asked about. I always thought it was like All Souls Day, which happens the day after Halloween. So, in the Catholic
There's a
religion.
history that
So,
I should know, that I did know about, that I forgot. But there is where the Catholic Church changed it to All Souls Day because of us, and because the Halloween was like, oh,
right.
you can't celebrate Halloween, but we're gonna change it to it's All Souls, it's Dia de los Muertos, but it's Dias, there's 2 days.
Oh.
Oh,
It's like I said, the second
interesting.
and the third. And you
Oh, I
put
feel like we just had a lesson.
well,
Yeah, I
it's
sure
so
did.
important to not forget people who have crossed over. I mean, let's say you even like say Farrah Fawcett. You
Yes.
could put a picture of Farrah Fawcett and say to her soul, thank you so much for coming into this earth, and hopefully in the other side we remember you, and hopefully you're doing better over there. I know
I
that they're
love
I like
I
that.
love that they have it for pets. I
the
love
pets.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
And
we're
so
lesbians.
a lot
We
more
should
that
know about this.
Right. We have
Right?
to know this.
Well, but pets are also, pets are
A soul. They have a soul.
soul
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're
Yeah.
family. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
say it as my cat's just licking herself right in front of my face right now.
I'm sorry you cut out. Who's licking herself?
My cat.
Just kidding.
Not my
I-
wife. My wife's in bed. My cat. My girl cat, actually.
So,
Yeah.
where do you go with Olivia Cruises? Where does that go? Did you say it went to Prague? You
It
were in
goes
Prague?
Olivia
They go
Olivia
everywhere.
Cruises, it has little tiny not little tiny, it has big cruise ships. It has boutique cruises for like 200 women as opposed to 2,000 women. It
Right.
also has resorts. It provides
Wow.
yeah, and so like I don't know so much about this year, but last year I was booked on Turks and Caicos
Mm,
and
Oh, that's
Tahiti
nice.
finally, but things fell through.
Oh,
This year
nice.
I'm booked in the resort. I like resorts. They're all
yeah,
inclusive. I mean, you get to hang out and have fun, and the whole
they
resort
do.
is
They look so
lesbian.
Mhm.
fun. Yeah, the
The
resort
whole
trips are
ship
fantastic.
is lesbians. The whole boutique, the little boutique cruises when I'm
Fantastic.
in Prague, and sorry, the dogs are nuts.
That's okay. We got about 3 minutes. So I just want to let everybody know where, like, I saw that you put something out there. Like, do you want us to bring back the Playroom karaoke?
Oh yeah, I was wondering. Yeah,
Are
you
you
said
going to do
so.
it?
Yes, I would like to. But my sister, she's busy now teaching.
Oh,
Hold on,
she's back in the
Connie. Wait till she comes.
classroom.
Connie. Connie.
Connie's like, when is she leaving?
Connie's like, I just got back from work. I know.
Connie, I have a feeling Connie is split.
Connie. Connie's what?
Connie is your split. Your version.
Yeah.
My
Connie is
sister.
my version. She's only 2 years younger than me, also.
But
Oh,
you guys
see?
look so similar.
Connie,
So
my friend
similar.
wants to say hi. Close the door.
Close the door and don't let the snake
Put
out.
her backpack on.
She's so scholarly.
I just want.
Dude, what a nerd with your backpack. These are my friends.
Hi.
Hi, Connie.
Connie.
My backpack.
No, leave it on. Leave it on.
They want to
Wow,
know,
Wonder
Connie, because
Woman.
we have only 2 minutes. They want to know when we're doing Playroom.
I know, we have to figure it out. I had bad allergies and I tried to sing. I was singing in the car this past weekend and I woke up with no voice the
I hope
next
you were
day.
rehearsing the songs that we said we were going to sing.
Oh, maybe could we put Connie in a supporting role? Like, do you know ASL? Could you sign the songs?
Connie teaches for the deaf school, for School
I
of the
teach at the
Deaf.
School for the Deaf.
What?
That's so
There you go. Oh my God. You could do
Yeah,
that and then a little interpretive dance.
Come on, Connie.
Yeah. I'm a science teacher. I just hatched some chicks and ducks. Those ducks-
Oh,
I
congratulations.
was playing
Thank
about your
you.
snake.
You guys, that's fantastic. I hope you bring it back because I
will.
thoroughly think it's, yeah. We just
How
put the
about-
pressure on Connie. That was
No, after Mother's Day, because we were thinking the 8th, but then
Okay.
that's my son's prom.
All right. then.
Oh.
Okay,
And you're not
midnight.
going to the prom, dude.
I know, but then it's my friend's going away party as well. I have to take pictures, you know
Where's
how that
your
is.
friend going? It's a pandemic.
Oh, you guys, I know you're gonna work it
Ah.
out and you're gonna let us know. And we're gonna push the shit out of it because we think it's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. I'm ready. I'm ready to sing.
It was so good. Oh my God.
It's the Playroom.
It's the Playroom.
It's the Playroom. Oh, Sandra, it was so good seeing you.
So nice meeting you.
Meet you too.
Nice meeting
Good
you.
to see you too.
Oh, you guys, this is fantastic. We have to do this again. We want constant updates. And thank you so much for the Olivia tip.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you.
olivia.com.
Definitely.
My website's welovesandra.com.
Yeah, Olivia's
Yes.
fun.
Connie went to Olivia. They hit on
I
her.
went. They hit on me.